Welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the AI fundamentals. And in many different ways, as long as you know the fundamentals, you can use it any way you need to, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's when you are helping out a nonprofit organization and you're volunteering somewhere, or whether you're in a business environment. Any of these, you can use what I'm about to share with you. And what I'm excited about is just on the way through sharing with you what safe practices are as well, so that you're familiar with that. So I'm Sophie Andrell, and I'm pleased to be here. This is how I see myself, but not how anyone else does. I teach AI certification at a university, Trent University, and I help businesses far and wide understand how to leverage the power of AI. And just like many of us, so many people have not even touched it yet. So I like to start foundational. And then if the team I'm working with needs something more, we can always do that. So this is going to definitely be foundational. So I'm just going to tell you some concepts and I'm going to go in live and show you. So there are three types of AI. There's browser-based, which you can go to directly, chatgpt.com or Gemini.google.com. Those are the two most popular. The ChatGPT.com is the most popular. It was the first one that was created, and by somebody called OpenAI out in California. And then the other one has been created by Google, hence the Gemini.google.com. And I find a lot of entrepreneurs are finding that one very useful because I'll tell you why in a second. So there's a bunch of them that you can go to directly, and there's some Grok that you'll hear, Perplexity that you'll hear about, Claude that you'll hear about, copilot.microsoft.com that you can go to directly. So all of these I call browser-based. I want you to think of those as if you are going to Facebook or your bank account online. And when you go to them, it's going to require you to put in an email and a password so it knows it's you. And you need to sign in to use them. And they all have free accounts. Then, if you wanted to, like many people do, is to use it on your phone as well. You download the app on your phone. And when you go there, if your phone is synced like mine is to my, um, uh, Chrome and my Android world, or if you're someone who's on Apple and you download the app, it asks for your email, it's going to be synced. And guess what happens is if you ask for something, and I'll show you this on, you start chatting with it on one of these on your desktop, and then you go to it on your phone, it remembers your thread. And why that's important is if I'll show you, it'll be easier. So that's the browser based. Then there's the kind that are embedded in your ecosystem. And this is the one that businesses are more excited about in a way because it helps them with productivity. So if you're someone that's doing a lot of Excel spreadsheets in Microsoft, like financials, or you're using the Google world and you're using a lot of, they're called sheets in Google, you can ask this financial statement now questions. So AI is built into it. You're not sharing your financials with anyone. It's actually built into it. It's in a safe environment where you're built into it. You can ask it to tell you something about these financials. It's pretty cool. So that's what they call productivity gains. And I'll get to that. And then there's something like this called Zoom, right? So many of us have used Zoom or Teams or GoToMeeting on Google. What happens is they all have embedded AI built into it. So they have this whole other function, just like Microsoft Word does. Zoom's got this function that we can all meet together like this, but it's also got AI built into it now. So what happens is right now it's taking notes, it's making minutes as to what we're talking about. If, say, Joel said, okay, so I'd like you, Sophie, to have the video recording ready for us by tomorrow, it's going to document that there's an action item that I have to send this to you by tomorrow. If we wanted to, we could even turn on workflow in this embedded environment and have it send me an email to remind me. So all of a sudden, AI is built into these tools. Those are considered the safe place to actually look at private information, financials, or if you're, your taxes. Some of us put them on spreadsheets. It's okay, and AI is built into it. Where it's not okay is you don't want to take that spreadsheet or that private document and upload it to ChatGPT because that's browser based. And that's what people are worried about because people don't realize that. They don't realize you're exposing yourself. So I always say for the browser based ones, if it's not something you would share on Facebook, then don't share it on the browser based. Otherwise, you want to work within your safe environment. And then there's expert ones that are meant for a certain purpose. So if you work for a manufacturing company, they have AI for their product for their production now. But if you are trying to do an AI clone of yourself, there's a tool called HeyGen, which does AI clones. So it just does that. It does videos, AI clones. It's purpose built. Pretty cool, right? Then there's chatbots, and I'll show you what those are. They're free to create, and you can create a chatbot to help you with whatever you want. So I could have one for cooking, and I'll show you what I mean by that as well. So, and then there's many other ones. One that I like that a lot of people are using is notebooklm.google.com, made by Google. This is a very powerful tool that if I'm learning anything, I upload everything I want to know about that tool to Notebook.lm, and it creates a podcast for me or it creates a video for me. So it takes all this dispersed information that is about a certain topic and it creates a guide for me. And I'll show you that. I actually created one for everybody here. And there's some other ones that a lot of people play with called CapCut, where it'll create those funny videos that you see sometimes on social where someone is walking with an elephant behind them, or they're walking with a gorilla, or they're flying into the sky. There's a tool called CapCut, which is an app that you can use and upload your own photo or anybody's photo, and it turns into something else. So a lot of people use that for, Happy Valentine's Day, and they put themselves in it. Or my dogs, they've often been in different CapCut videos. So it's pretty cool. They also have a CapCut desktop version, which I won't get into, but it's pretty powerful. It does a lot of interesting video editing, and that's fairly new. So those are the three different types. So this is how you access it. So if I went to chatgpt.com, this comes up. If I wanted to put it on my phone for the app, I would go to your Play Store, whichever you're using on your iPhone or on your Android phone, and you would find what's called ChatGPT. And it has this icon. I show you the icon because there's a lot of different AI tools out there. Some of them sound like ChatGPT, but this is the one you want. So again, when you go to it, it's going to ask for your email and password. And then when you come back to it, it knows who you are. So why is that important, you might ask, that it knows who you are? Let me show you. So if I go to here, oops, sorry, and I go to ChatGPT, when I first go to ChatGPT, it's asking me, what do I need help on? And so I may need, please tell me why my dogs are always wrestling. I won't be able to spell that right, but I don't mind because what you'll see is it actually corrects the spelling for me, which I love. Why my dogs are always spelling. So spelling, why my dogs are always wrestling. So let's see what it says. So I'm just going on here. I'm asking it a question. And if you were asking a question like that on Google, it comes up with a list of things and you have to click on each of them, right? Here, it basically will give you a summary of everything it's finding on this topic that it thinks is reputable, and it'll give you its recommendation. It'll give you what it thinks you're asking. So here's what I wrote over here. And then because it's because quite simply, the dogs are they're speaking dog. Wrestling with one of other is one of their favorite things to do. Here's why. It tells me why. It's not combat. Puppies learn life that way. Energy outlet. Here's to tell if it's healthy. So it tells you all this information. It's pretty amazing, right? So what also happens, remember how I said it knows it's me? It will remember everything you've asked it. That is important if you like to cook like I do. So down here, it has every past chat I've ever talked about. So hamburger helper recipe. I don't know why I would ask for that. Banana bread recipe. So if I go to this, it'll click on the recipe that it gave me before. Pretty cool, right? So I don't know what I asked here. Could you please give me ideas for what to cook with 200 pounds of ground beef? I'm running low in groceries. I have to tell you, I have become the best cook ever since I have done it this way. I will go in and say, I only have these four ingredients. Tell me what I can cook. And it comes up with the most amazing help. So that's pretty cool. But because I use it so much, I got to go through here and find it. But guess what they introduced? You can actually go in and create a project. And so what I can do is I can go into it will have for you if you're new, your chats will show up down here on the far left, but you'll have this thing called projects. So you see on projects, you can create a new project. And I could create a whole project on cooking, which is what I did. So if I click on this, you can see all my projects. So I click on cooking, which is what I do now, and anything I have cooked recently shows up here. So I can go back. It tells me the date that I asked for this. It's giving me tarts. Oh yeah, I remember I made these things for Christmas and we couldn't go because of the weather. So I have all these tarts in the freezer. But you can see this is what I cooked today, cooking beans. And I realized I didn't have tomatoes, so it had to modify my recipe. So that was pretty amazing. I absolutely love it. So that's been helpful. Also, with the projects, you can see I have my course that I teach, micro credential at Trent University. I click on this. And when I'm looking at different segments that I'm introducing to my course, I can come back here and look at the information I'm collecting. So it's very powerful, very powerful. And there's something else I'm going to come back to in a second that you can also create called GPTs. So all you're doing is every time you go on here, it's going to show up like this, where Ask Me Anything. You can search for past chats if you'd like to search for something that you talked about in the past. You go on here and you can click on here and search for it, which is pretty cool. You can look at all the images you've ever created. So you click on that, and here are some of the images that I've created in the past. So you can, they're pretty cool. I forgot I created all these. So that's pretty neat, right? So you can see some of them I created from humans, and I told it to turn it into a cartoon, which is very cool. So if I click on this, I think it'll tell me, oh yeah, I love this one. It actually will tell me, okay, I won't digress because I can do that easily. I could end up going down a rabbit hole and spending a lot of time. I do a lot of social media for different clients. So here you can see this was for Central Smith. These were for my company that is a shoe company. This is for Kidmount Snowblowing, and happens to be my husband. So I did one for him. So you can go in and ask it to create something for you, but I'll get to that. So that's pretty cool. And so you might be thinking, you know what? Sometimes I do want to ask it something that's kind of private. I don't want it saved on the side. You can do that. You can go into way over here on the right where it says turn on temporary chat. So you can turn on temporary chat and ask it anything you want, and the chat will not be saved on the left. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So this is ChatGPT. Google has one called gemini.google.com. If I am working on something for business and I would like to really write an amazing proposal or really write an amazing bit for social media, I will ask both ChatGPT and Google, and I see which one I like best. So that's something I'll show you in a second. But all you do is your new chats are here. Here, if you want to do it in dark mode or private, you click on this and it puts it into temporary chat, so it won't save it on the side. Here is my stuff, so it's any of the recent uh, videos and photos that I've created. So that's where you'll find that. And all of your past chats are right here on the left side. Okay, and then I'm going to come back to what a gem is in a second. So I'm just going to go to see if you have any questions. Oh, there you are. Do you have any questions, Joel or Sue?
I don't think I do right now.
Okay.
Well, I do. When you're talking
I can't hear if you're asking
You want
anything.
to say, and she's going to tell me,
Sorry?
and then I'll ask Sophie.
Okay, cool. So we're okay? I can continue?
No, we're just hang on 1 second.
Oh, sorry. Okay, good.
So she wants to know if she wants to build a stage in her yard that has specific measurements. Would
Yes,
ChatGPT or Google Gemini be able to tell her how much wood she would need and help her with creating a plan?
exactly. It would. And it's pretty exciting that you can put in those kind of dimensions. So, for example, it's a little bit different. My husband's a snowblower, as I mentioned, and he has all these different people that want snow blowing. So I will tell it something like I showed it a list. So I didn't even type it in there. I showed them a list. So what I did, not show them a list. I took a picture of the handwritten um, address list of who his uh, clients were, because in that case he wrote them down old fashioned like I do with my calendar, and I showed it because I didn't know what would happen. All of a sudden they wrote it, created it into a little table for me, and it told me the best route to take, and then it said, would you like me to also find out which area, because he's in 3 different areas, there will be most snow. And I said, yes, we only go if it's 3 inches or more. So now it's doing this calculation where it's finding out where there will be 3 inches or more. So in your case, if you are building, is it a fence, Sue, is it a fence, Joel, that Sue's building?
Is a stage, you said?
I said a stage.
A stage.
Cool, I want to come. So if she's building a stage, it would ask you for the dimensions. You know what you could do too is give it a picture of your backyard, which would be so cool, and tell it the dimensions and about where you want the stage, and it could start from there. So you can go and it will ask you more questions. So, do you want a backdrop on the stage? Do you want just, how high do you want it to be? It's going to ask you all these crazy questions to help you create your stage or build it. And then, what you can also do is I like to ask it, where can I buy my material? Because often I need to buy something that I'm not familiar with. Like I needed to get a mower for my husband's snowblower machine. He wants to do some other stuff in the summertime. And so there was some that you drive upon, and there was some that you pull behind you. And it said, oh, Sophie, based on where you live, you shouldn't get the one that you drive upon, the zero clearance one, because you have a lot of rocks where you are and a lot of hilly terrain. Your husband will break that. You need to get one that pulls behind you. So it gives you advice. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I would love to see, for you to use it for that. Okay, does that make sense? Okay,
Makes sense
I
to
am going
me.
to
Yep.
continue. I'm still sharing my screen. Perfect. So that's really cool. So you can see from current, you can ask it almost anything. It keeps the conversation for you. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you. So when you're in there live, you can take off my temporary chat. You can ask it anything just by typing it here. I have a backyard that is 200 feet by, say, 50 feet, and I'd like to build a stage for music. I'm making this up. in the back corner. Can you corner? Can you help me build it and give me the specs? Give me the specs and materials. Okay, materials. So I'm going to ask it here on ChatGPT. I'd like to build. Uh, okay, and I'm also going to ask it. So when I'm going to put that in there, then I do this little arrow. So then I'm going to go to Google because I like asking questions to both of them. I always do. I go back and forth. And so I'm going to ask it this question. So let's go see what this one said. Okay, so this one said, absolutely, let's design it like a small but serious backyard music stage that feels international, safe, expandable. Think house concert meets community by night. Not a rickety dickety deck. Okay, I added some words, but with a mic. So it's going to give me total space, and then it's going to say what it thinks the space should be for the sweet spot. It's going to tell me how many with that, how many musicians it'll fit, how high it should be without a rail. And then I can say, okay, that's great, but I need more musicians, or it's really, so you can go in and it's giving you all the materials, the framing pressure, the back wall optional but excellent, safety ideas. So as you can see, it's giving me the type of lumber I need, all the posts, the beams, the joists, the whatever this means, the bolts and you probably know some more than I do. And then it's you want a roof on it. It's giving me a cover for future. So you see what I mean, right? And then it's telling me to do it yourself, the range of price it's going to be with electrical, how much it thinks, and then with a later roof. So people are using this for personal just as much as they use it for business, because if you're expanding your business, you might need that. You know what I mean? And then let's go see what Gemini says. Sounds like a fantastic project. And let's makes fun for us, summer gatherings. And this one is telling us 12 by 16. Curious what this one said. 12 by 16. Interesting. I wonder why they're both the same. And then it tells me the different types, the specs, the concrete blocks I would need, so you can see, yes, the answer is yes. If you wanted to, just highlight it and copy it, you can. If you want, you can click on this for copy the response. So it's going to copy the entire response. You can, if you want to get I'll show you this in a second. You can go over here, see where it says share conversation. You can click that and copy the link if you want to send it to yourself somehow. Or you could also add a human to this one if you wanted to. You can share it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember where you do that. Share it publicly, rename, delete. There's a way to share it too, and I just don't remember what it is this second here. I know on ChatGPT, I click on share and I'm able to share it to somebody by copying the link in social media. So it's right. I mean, that's pretty powerful. So I hope that answered that part. But another thing you can do when you're here is you could ask it to create a photo of it if you want. So I can go in here. So first I was just asking it in text. It was telling me back in text. I could be driving somewhere, which I often do because I live far away, and I'll be on my phone and I'll click on the dictate and I'll say, I want to learn about such and such a topic on the way to wherever I'm going, or I need recipes about something. I'm going to ask you, and then I want you to read it to me. So now it's like having my consultant in my car and it's reading back and forth, whether it's a consultant for my cooking, whether it's a consultant for, artificial intelligence. But I could also click on this. And if I had a design that I liked for the stage, I could add the photo or the file to it. So I could add, if I had a photo of the what am I talking about? The deck or the stage that I want, I can go into here, add the stage I like. And that's what I suggest you might want to do, and say, I'd like to build this. So that's pretty cool, right? So you can tell it exactly what you want. You could also, if you wanted to, if you were on I'm not going to get into this part because you can also link your files to it, but based on an introduction, I'm not going to get into that. You can create an image. I could say, so I can click on create image. So I've changed modes now from talking to it to an image, and I could say, can you please create a photo of this with the dimensions. Oh, I see. So I'll show you that in a second. With a photo of the new stage with the dimensions. Cool, right? So I can do that. Now it's going to go away. And it's this part, you'll see it's kind of got this circle here. It's got a little box here. So while it's doing that, it's thinking and it's creating. If you click on this here, it's going to stop creating it. So you don't want to do that. I used to do that a lot because I would change my mind. So here, you can see after you've asked the question, it's going to come back and say, if you want, I can. So it's telling you other things it can do. I can create dimensions. I can optimize it for local building codes. So that's cool. Go out and find your building codes. Design a sound layout for speakers. Adapt for neighborhood-friendly volume control. Just tell me, is it do-it-yourself or are you hiring? So now it showed me the dimensions of this. So I can see this is what it drew for me based on our little conversation so far. Okay, so crazy powerful. And you can download this, you can use it, save the image. You can edit it if you want to. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Very, very powerful. So I hope that was helpful. Okay, so this is accessing ChatGPT. And then, like I said, if you have it on your phone as well, you can go to the material place, okay, a store, and you can show them and say, okay, this is what I need because the app is also on your phone. Pretty cool, right? So that's what I wanted to show you there. Same thing if Gemini, some people just start liking Gemini more than ChatGPT. Gemini keeps on adding cool features to it. So I like using both. So I already did this for you live, but I have
One
this as
second,
a
Sophie.
slide. Sorry?
Just 1 second.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
So for ChatGPT, she can download the app on her phone, right?
Yes.
So you would go to the App Store and search ChatGPT, and then you can download that, like the chat service, or you can just Google it. So like on your computer or anything, you can
Good
just Google
idea.
ChatGPT and then use it like she's using it. Yeah, or Google Gemini, whatever your preference is.
So they have a free
No problem.
version and then they have paid version. I pay all of $20 a month for it because I believe the free version you only have I don't know if it's 100 queries a day, but I went over way over. So I needed to have more. So that's something you want to know about. Um, and I just don't remember the pricing anymore. Yeah, so you go to ChatGPT or Google Gemini.google.com, create your account, and then you're able to go to the store, Google Store if you want to do it on your phone, and you can do it directly from there. So it depends on if you want to do it on your phone only, you can. I use it on my phone probably equally as much as I do on my laptop. So a real fun thing to do if you wanted to, if you want to practice. I mean, sounds like you've got something cool to practice with, so you don't need it. But this is just a place you can start if you're going to go to Chat GPT or to Gemini.google.com and say, um, tell it that it is an expert in your field if you're in business. So let you know which field it's an expert in. I need a business marketing plan. Please create a table on how I can grow my business and use AI. So you're just telling it, that ChatGPT or Google Gemini right now, I want you to pretend you're an expert in, making crafts. I'm making this up. And so I need a business plan or a marketing plan. So I want you to create me a table. So anything in the square brackets are where you're entering your own information on how I can grow my business and how I can use AI. Because a lot of people, as I said, aren't sure where to use AI. So you should share your business name if you already have one, and your website if you have one, so it can research what you're doing. If you don't, then you tell it what you want to be doing. And then so tell AI what you do in your business, where do you want what you want to do, why you love it, and then who is your potential clients. So it's pretty cool. So then once it knows that, which is what I did here. Once it knows that, I then uploaded a photo of me. So my uh, red glasses are always on me somewhere. And then I said, and then tell AI, you're an expert in media. Tell it now that it's now an expert in media, an expert media artist in your industry. So whatever your industry is, and tell it to create a character of you in your job based on everything that knows about me. And because you just did part one, it knows a lot about you, right? So I want to use it and then tell it how you're going to use it. So this is how you talk to AI generally. If you're doing something where it has to, at one moment you're asking for a business plan, it needs to know that you're asking it as a business plan expert in a certain field. If the next day you're talking to it to create your marketing, then it needs to know it's a marketing expert. If the next day you're asking it to build something in your backyard, it needs to know that it's a building expert. If the next day I'm asking it for snow blowing advice for my husband, it needs to know, you know what I mean? So if you just ask it something vague, like, it won't know what you're asking because it has access to everything, right? So you need to give it some guidance. So that's kind of cool. So, so we just talked about browser-based AI. Embedded AI is where it's embedded. This is browser-based, where you're in the browser. Embedded AI is where it's built into your Gmail or it's built into your PowerPoint, for example. So if I go to my Gmail, for example, oh, I want to go to my Gmail. Thank you. So if I go to my Gmail, should be up here. I don't have it open right now. So gmail.com. So if I go to my Gmail, you can see right here, it's embedded. So this, if you look at it, this is Gemini. And that's what it looks like when I'm just in Gemini right here. It's got this little star burst. That's the Gemini logo. When I download it to my phone, it'll be the same little star burst, the app. But if I want to go into Gmail and I have embedded it into my Gmail, then what happens is it's right there and I can ask Gemini. So it's built into my email. I'm not taking my emails out and giving it to Gemini. It's built in and it's safe. It's safe in my email. So I don't know which emails you all use. Outlook has the same thing, but in Outlook it's called Copilot. Here it's called Gemini. So each system has its own system built in. And this one happens to be
So
called Gemini. So I could ask here, whoops, there, I could ask, tell me what my priorities are today. Did I miss responding to anything? Responding to anything. So I could ask it that, or I could say, find every email I ever sent to Joel and give me a summary. What am I talking about with Joel? And it'll go back to the beginning of time. So it's really cool when you have a lot of emails going back and forth and you're not exactly sure what's the last thing Joel wanted me to do. I don't remember. So I absolutely love this. The other day I'm speaking at a conference in April, but I remembered they contacted me for something else as well. And it just told me exactly what I was supposed to be doing and when. So if you scroll down, I just asked it, and it says, based on your emails today, missed responses. Oh, I'm supposed to talk to Dan about this. I'm supposed to talk to Angela about that, which I did. So it's telling me everything that I was supposed to do. And if I click on it, it's going to take me to those emails. I think, Joel, were you trying to say something?
yeah, can you explain why it's safe to use the embedded one for private information, but not the browser based for private information?
Yeah, so if I'm in my email, for example, Or if I'm in my, there we are. If I'm in my PowerPoint, for example, and I could embed in my PowerPoint, so it's called Copilot, and this is embedded because it's right in here. You have your information saved on your PowerPoint, and it's saved on your laptop. So people aren't able to get into your laptop and steal your PowerPoint that you just created. People aren't generally going into your Gmail or Outlook, depending on what you use, to and have access to your email. But as soon as I take, something like this, I'll just pretend I'm taking something I sent you, but nothing here is at the large. As soon as I take this, Joel, and say I put it um, on ChatGPT and say to ChatGPT, um, can you help me rewrite this? So it's a note I sent to you. And so it's going to go in, it's going to say, here's a polished version of this. So in here, it's not too bad because I didn't have anything private. I do have my private Zoom, so I probably shouldn't have shared that, and I never do. What I do instead is if I want ChatGPT to help me with writing something, which I do all the time, I will take down the words that are okay if someone was to ever steal them, but I would never put a financial statement in here because policies for businesses state if you put a financial statement in your ChatGPT, which is like a public browser, people that are that are thieves online, they have more um, ability to go in and find something that you are asking ChatGPT in the browser version. Whereas if I went here into my Google and I asked Gemini, please rewrite this, which is what I would normally do, polish it for me, and I put it here, and it's seeing what, hello, Joe, here's the supporting document. It's going to look at this and rewrite it. So depending on how sensitive it is, I would have been rewriting it in my closed environment because you probably have security systems on your laptop. Google itself has end-to-end encryption on its Gmail, so you're in a closed system. I can talk about that for an hour or two, but does that give you a high level kind of explanation?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to continue. So that's kind of how you access it. And I just showed you embedded within your Word or your PowerPoint you'll find it when you're in your home. You'll find it embedded right there. You click on it, it opens up a panel. And here, for example, this is in my PowerPoint. I asked it to create, please give me bullets for this slide on the difference between browser-based and embedded, which is interesting. You just asked that. So it gave me the bullets. It created all the bullets for me. Browser-based data is processed external servers outside your organization. Embedded data is locally within your device and in your organization, which makes it by nature safer as it's embedded. And so then I say add content. So now I take this content and I'm going to add it to this slide. It's pretty cool, right? So it does all this for you. And then I also asked it, and this is getting a little more deeper, I can go in and ask it to find files that I have saved on my laptop, or if I have my I'm not going to get into the Microsoft world, but if I was in Microsoft world on SharePoint and ask it to summarize these 4 documents and create a slide from it. And that's really where my productivity amps up if you're using it for business. So that's pretty cool. This also, I'm creating an image for your slide. I asked it to create an image to help us work smarter, not harder with AI. And so it created this image for me right in PowerPoint. It can do the same thing in Word. It can do the same thing in Docs. It can do the same thing. So I don't have to leave my environment. I can stay right in the tool I'm working in and ask it to create. So if this was a hands-on workshop and you were working on Word, or if you're working on Google Docs, I would have us open it up and experiment on it, on how to create those documents and how to add different AI things to it. Pretty cool, right? So AI helps you work smarter, not harder. It makes communication clearer. I'm always asking it to, I cut and paste what I'm about to say, and I always ask it to polish it. Then I realized I just can put the bullets of what I want and I ask it to polish it. And then I always tell it, okay, that doesn't sound like me. It needs to be warmer. It needs to be more welcoming because that's my personality. I'm not professional, as you can tell by having dogs sleeping in the back of my office. I want to be personal. I want to be me. So I sometimes will give it an example of what I write like, and then it polishes it so it sounds like me. But there's no spelling errors. There are no, it's on point. I'm not rambling as I often do when I'm on my own. It really, really helps. So an AI, what people are calling it now are AI agents or AI assistants. So for me, I have an AI helper in the kitchen. I'm always getting help cooking now. My husband has an AI helper to help with his snow blowing route. So you might have an AI helper to help you build that deck. So there's so many things it can do. It become a research assistant where it goes out and looks at all sorts of information on a certain topic and brings it back to you in a nice summary. Analyze data. If we were talking about hands-on together, I could show you how it would analyze an Excel spreadsheet, and you could ask it questions about, okay, I see my financials here. What's missing? What are my weaknesses? So it can go in and do these kind of things. And Joel, with your background, you could make it do so much more because you have a financial background in Excel spreadsheets or in different types of spreadsheet tools. And then communication coach, I use that all the time as a communication coach. I will say to it, I want you to create a script for a video for me, and then I'd like that video to be put out on a blog, on social media, on an article. And so it'll create the script, it'll create the video, and then it'll create the social media content I need to put it out. And I'll show you an example. I just did one earlier just to show you. So I went to ChatGPT. I'm right here. So I'll just show you on my Facebook because I put it on there. My business Facebook is this one. And what I did was I created this. So she happens to be a photo. I uploaded this photo. No, I didn't. I asked ChatGPT to create a photo of me, pretending it's me, in the future with one of my dogs. And so then I uploaded this to ChatGPT and I said, create a video for me of myself in this photo talking about how you use ChatGPT and something called HeyGen to create an idea, a script, and a video. And I told it the bullets of what I wanted it to say. So it created this full video on without me really being involved at all. It created the video and I looked at it to make sure I was happy with it. And then, and I was, and it put all these images in it for me. And she sounds like me because it's my clone voice. That again gets a little more advanced that we won't talk about today. It's using a tool called HeyGen, though. If you want to use that HeyGen tool to create your voice clone, it's beautiful. I love it. So it did the script in ChatGPT, and then it connected to HeyGen to get my voice, and then it created this video. It stopped and asked me if I liked these scenes in the video, and I said yes, and then it's published it for me. And then I said to it, okay, now tell me what should I say about it on Facebook? What should I say about it on my website? So on my website, if I went to my AI blogs, you can see that it's on my website as a she's moving. That's so funny. It's on my website as a blog explaining it in detail as to what it is you can do now. So it's very, very, it really helps take something and repurpose it as a communication coach, which is so cool. Okay, let me go back. It also helps you with your marketing, which I guess is the same as a communication coach, the way I use it. Other people use communication coaches to help them write business plans, help them respond to grants. So there's a ton of things you can do. But it all comes down to how you talk to AI. You need to understand how to talk to it. And these are called prompts. So a prompt is the instructions you give to AI. Just like we did with the deck, we told AI what we were looking for. We told AI a little bit of the information. We told AI we wanted the output, that we wanted a picture of it with the dimensions. So it's kind of this little method I created. Excuse me. It's kind of this little method I created called React. Tell it the role that it is. Explain your situation clearly. You're building a stage for X. Ask it then to for specific outcomes you want. So in that case, I wanted a photo with the dimensions. Give it relevant detail. So you may want to tell it what the stage is going to be used for. And then the tone. Who's going to be using it? Is this for a client? Is this for yourself? And so it'll do all of that for you. So what I have for you is a whole bunch of examples. I have a prompt library on different things that you might want to do as a prompt. So I have them where AI acts as a business strategy coach. So if you're looking to start a company, you want to know what your value proposition is. If you're in a company or looking to start it, you can figure out who your competitors would be. It'll tell you what their strengths and weaknesses are. You could go in and ask it to tell you, who exactly do I sell to? Who would like my product? And it'll tell you that and their motivation for buying. It'll then, because you've done all those things, it'll then tell you, these are the things you should be talking about in your marketing. A digital footprint review, which I love to do. I actually do this for companies as an audit. I'll go in and see if AI can even see them online, because AI uses a little bit of a different equation to find people. Marketing plans, product mixes. There's so many different things you can do. So I have the prompts here. So if I go to a marketing plan, you can see I'm just asking it, act as a small business coach, create a simple 90-day marketing plan for my business, focus on low cost, realistic actions for a solo entrepreneur. So it's going to come back and ask you questions. What is your company? Who's your target market? So it's going to ask you all these questions. And once you've answered those, it remembers you. So when you go back and you ask it a question, it'll remember you, which is very cool. So I have that for you to use, and I suggest you take advantage of the prompt library. So it really helps you ask questions appropriately to AI so you get the right questions back. So I'm going to run out of time, but there's a whole bunch of them there. Then there's something called a GPT, which is like a really smart assistant that you can create on ChatGPT. And I'll just show you what it is. I have a GPT library for you as well. So if I go to ChatGPT and I see something here called GPTs, what's that? So it's right above the projects. So you can explore GPTs. There's all sorts of them here that already exist. Help me find something on Expedia. There's all sorts of them that you can look for. A writing coach, a business plan coach. There's all sorts of them. But you can create your own GPT. So these are my GPTs right here. So if I click on that, you say, what did I create? So I created a bunch of different ones here. So here's one I created for a company called Landon Hall AI Booking Assistant. I'm speaking at a tourism conference next week. So I created this to show them. And then Southwestern Ontario Day Trip Designer, I created this to show them. So in that case, you click on this and it asks questions already. So if you have people that are asking you questions that are repetitive over and over again, you can create one of these and it acts like a mini chatbot. So for example, here, all I did was go to their website. I uploaded all the information I could find. And if somebody wants to know their spa options, they click on that and it comes up with their spa options for this company, which is very cool. So it's telling me all their spa options, full details. Then it asks questions and it really increases. It's like a lead magnet. Are you visiting as an overnight guest or joining us as a day experience? Preferred dates? Are you looking for relaxation? So now it's trying to understand what you like. And eventually, it's going to send you to the right page to make your own reservation. So these are really simple to create. You just click on when you're creating it, I'll show you this one's already created. You edit it, you put in the name, you put in the logo, description of what it is, and then you put all these instructions in it. So I put in all these instructions as to what I want it to sound like, how I want it to react to people when it's asking questions. Then I wrote down these conversation starters, and then I uploaded all these PDFs that I found on their website. So people don't have to go searching for it. They can just ask questions in one place. So you could imagine you can use it for business planning. You can use it for anything that you're doing. Some people use it for themselves. Some people use it to help volunteers. Some people use it to onboard clients or to onboard staff. So those are called GPTs. And you can just, whoops, go over here. You can share them with this link. And you can say that only you can see it or anyone at the link can see it. Or you can put it in the GPT store. And why this is cool is it helps ChatGPT know who you are. It's kind of training it. And I can get into a whole thing on how to train AI to find you. This influences AI. So it's pretty cool. Okay. So I think I only have a few slides left. So this is what I was showing you was your GPT and what it looks like. And then where did I create this one? So assistance. So I have here step-by-step instructions on how you create your GPT, your assistants that I just showed you. You know, you sign in and you just follow these instructions if you're interested. Now you can go a next step and use a chatbot, use a tool called Tidio. And I absolutely love that tool. This is if you want it on your website, you want it public and you want people to ask you questions. You want to see the reports of what questions have they been asking. This one costs money. It's not very expensive. And you can also put it to answer questions on your Messenger, on Facebook, or on Instagram. So you're not missing any opportunities. And it's the exact same concept. You're finding a title for it, you're finding a description for it, and you're educating it. So it's only answering the questions that you've told it. Here are the PDFs, here's the websites, here's some YouTube videos, everything you need to know about this topic. So Tidio is the one I suggest for chatbots on your website or on your social media messenger. And this, for example, is just a fun example. My nephew, Andrew, um, from California, happened to be on my Instagram, and he was saying something about not sure if I'm a fan of AI Sophie. Her voice seems off because I had an AI clone, one of my first clones. And I showed it, and he said that. And then my standard response on through Tidio is, I appreciate your feedback, Andrew. I'm AI agent helping with questions about AI and digital marketing services. Is there anything specific about the courses or services I can help you with? So that's how it replied. And it said, no, tell me more about Sophie. I happened to be online and I could see what was going on all my different chats. So I interrupted and I said, she has the most amazing nephew in California. So I sent that to him. He thought it was my AI. And then it said, AI is too smart. Anyway, so it was pretty funny. So I'm going to skip over that. This is something that tool I talked about. This is how I'm going to wrap up. That it's called notebooklm.google.com, created for me. I uploaded my PowerPoint that I'm sharing with you now, and it created this infographic. So a lot of people are using Notebook LM to take a lot of information and make it simple. So you can see it's got everything we talked about. Then if I go to it to show you, it will create for you So you upload everything you want. So this was my PowerPoint. This was your logo, and you can ask questions about any of that. But it also has for you that you create this mind map. So if you wanted to, I didn't create a mind map. You click on that, and it's going to summarize everything that's here into categories, and you click on it, and it'll take you to that. So I love these mind maps. As an engineer, I find these extremely useful. So AI for First Nation entrepreneurs. So you can click on it, and I want to know role-based digital assistants. Okay, which ones are there? Oh, communication coach. No, I was interested in the event and powwow readiness. Okay, so then I click on that. Oh, okay, I want inventory planning, booth setup, sales script. Well, let me just click on this and see what it has to say. So I click on that. So this is from the information I uploaded, and now it's telling me what I'm most interested in. Because sometimes you've got all this information you're trying to learn about and you get overwhelmed. Other times you have someone that's you're hiring or a new client and you want them to know specific things. So you can create a notebook LM for them on a specific topic, and they have access to it and they can learn anything they want. So it's analyzing the files. I'm going to come back to it in a second because we're running out of time. Another thing it did for me is it created a video. Real cool thing is it creates podcasts. I love the podcasts. I'll just let you listen to the podcast as we wrap up in a second. Flashcards, and it also creates quizzes. So this is quizzes on this topic that we just talked about in React framework for writing AI prompts. What does the R represent? Well, we know it represents roles. So it says that's right. So then if I go next, which role-based AI assistant is specific for designing help with booth setup? So, and so we know it's this one, but let's say I got it wrong and I say it's this one, they'll say not quite, and it'll give me a hint. And so then if I explain, it'll give me ask for explanation, it'll give me explanation. So I find a lot of students that I work with are using Notebook LM to help them study for school. So I really love this tool. It's one of my favorite tools, and it's something that's included in Google. And so this came up with all of that information I was looking for. And then the podcast, I'll play the podcast. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, so I'm not sure I shared it. Can you hear this?
I'm not hearing anything.
Okay. One second. Okay.
Which is a relief. They actually frame it as a digital helper for solo business owners.
Because if you're running your own business, you just want a virtual assistant to handle the boring stuff, right?
Yeah.
The scheduling, drafting, the data crunching, so you can actually do the work you started the business to do.
Which is the dream for anyone wearing 20 different hats.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening locally, we should flag that this is happening live on Tuesday, February 24th.
At the Mondushkumig banquet room.
Right.
Then E, explain the situation. A, ask for the specific outcome. C is content.
Well, I'm surprised they pronounced that right.
Sharing. Okay, so you can see, I'm unmuted. Good. So you can see how amazing that is, that tool. I absolutely love it, and I highly recommend it for onboarding, for training, there's so many ways. Some people just use it for themselves, but it's a great way because all those resources are always there to share it with people. So that brings us to 6 o'clock, and I hope you found that useful and that you'll be able to reuse this video for others and all the resource information that I've shared with you on the link. Okay.
Thanks.
Glad I came over. Now I don't have to be so afraid of it.
Oh, I'm
Thanks,
glad to
thanks,
hear that.
Sophie.
My pleasure. Talk to you soon.
So if Sue wants to access any of this, you said it's going to be available after, right?
Yeah, so it's already on my website. I'll show you the link right here. So if you go to my website and you go to clients and you click on here, you'll find that this, what's that called? Infographic that I created is there. That's the first thing. The video that Notebook LM created is there. By tomorrow, there'll be the video of this there as well. So I'm going to be adding that. And then there's a bunch of different infographics and things that I've put here for everybody. And then this is the podcast that you just heard. I have that here. And then I've got the prompt library, this whole PowerPoint, and the role-based digital assistance library right there as well. Okay. And
Okay, thank you.
yeah, my pleasure.
Great. Thank you.
All right, well, have a great night, Sophie. Thank you for this.
I will. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Bye now.